What's up, Frenzy Head Nation? It's the coach, and we are back for another episode of Spoprts Frenzy. How's everybody doing? I hope you've had a great week. We've reached another weekend, and we still got sports happening. Woohoo! Yes, lots of COVID updates and COVID situations still going on, affecting our sports and stuff. But we are here, and the sports are still here, and everything continues to go mostly good at the moment. And, man, we are 1 week away from the return of Big Ten action. More importantly, the return of Michigan football. Woohoo! One of the big things we've all been waiting for. And I believe 20 days from now, filming the show on Thursday for our Friday people. I believe the MAC conference, which is the other conference I like to watch games from, starts back up in 20 days. So, yes, hard to believe we went from having no sports to everything starting to come back and returning. And, we also got to crown the baseball champion yet. We still got that going on. But, our main focus, especially on Spoprts Frenzy, has been football and nothing but football. So we do have some situations developing as we speak, and this could affect our games this week in our college area. So the one game I know for sure, it's been confirmed by several of my sources for me, and one of the games I know for sure that has been canceled this week because of COVID on our sheets is your LSU versus Florida Gators game. And doggone it, I honestly didn't think there was a ton of great games in college ball this week. And this one I thought, this one might be a halfway decent game. Yeah. And then questionable, but nobody has said it's going to be canceled. But they haven't got all the details on this yet, so there's a possibility that it could still not get played. Is your second 3-point bonus game this week, the Georgia-Alabama game. Yeah, Alabama's coach and their athletic director both having COVID symptoms. They're talking that they have a backup plan, of course, and the game, but I don't know if it affects anybody else. They may have to cancel that game as well. So stay tuned. We'll cover what we can on here. At this point with with all the COVID going around and stuff, all our games are basically up in the air. We just we do what we know what we do, and we go through the schedule and still pick the games. And if they happen, they happen. If not, they don't. At one point I almost put on here on the sheets like a third pick option, which would be COVID stopping the game. But I was like, that's not very tasteful. We're not going to do that. So how'd you guys feel about I really haven't got much input technically kind of when it gets right down to it, especially in our school situations. I don't know if every classroom's like that or not, but we're all kind of in a bubble situation, so we can't interact. We don't get to talk. We don't see a whole lot of people other than the people that are in our classrooms. So again, that leaves me out of the loop of kind of talking with and touching base with Coach Ron, who is basically my source for, high school football information, being that he's our awesome coach in Columbia Central Golden Eagles territory. But so how did everybody feel about last week? First time being back, being able to go to high school football. With that now being eliminated, up to 1,000 fans per stadium. Did it feel good to have fans? Well, did it feel good to be a player? Or not a player, but did it feel good to be in the audience is what I'm trying to get out here. getting back to Friday Night Football, those who were comfortable doing that. I had a poll on our Facebook page, and I don't know if people are afraid to answer the poll or what, but not many people answered. I don't think anybody actually answered the poll, to be truthful, on whether you were comfortable going back to Friday Night Football games or if you were going to stay away because you're still, kind of scared of the whole COVID situation. But those of you who did get out there, was it great having an audience again? Was it great having a fan base? Or in some cases, did it hurt you if you were an away team because, you weren't used to crowd noise like that and everything again? I imagine the majority of fans, especially our younger audiences, our high school audiences, were happy to be able to get back to some normality, having your bands back completely and having your cheer squads back, because it's kind of, I did hear it was a little bit different, like doing the national anthem and everything in the stadiums and having that just basically being piped in or recorded in because you didn't have your band there to play that, so that made things a little weird, a little different. But yeah, so, and wow, we're getting close to playoff time for high school football. I mean, because we had a shortened season, so we are, what? I think it's after this week, 1 week left in regulation season for high school football. So things are, moving right along, and we're covering it and enjoying it. Well, enjoying it as best as we can, and I mean, some of our schools probably aren't enjoying it so much as some of them are getting fairly beat up this year. And then we've had some surprises too, so it's been a strange year. But we'll take what we have right now. All right, enough rambling for the moment. Hey, and you guys haven't noticed, I found my clipboard this week. I had it tucked away. I always tease my wife about this, that it's tucked away. She puts things away and can't find them, that they're in a nice, safe place where she put them. Well, it's gotten bad for me. I do the same exact thing now. And I had lost my clipboard. Those of you that don't know the story behind this is I have two clipboards. My one at school that I have at school in my classroom, Julie Mapstone and the students got for me for Spoprts Frenzy in my first year with Julie and that team. And this clipboard is my original clipboard that Chris Bull and the Hope Center, shout out to all my friends at the Hope Center. The original Hope Center got me this when I was coaching the basketball team on an intern basis. And it's still here. I finally found it. So the coach is more comfortable because he has his clipboard back. All right, guys. With that being said, let's get into this week's episode. It is season 11, episode 6. And as we always do, we're starting off with high school football action. And in high school football action this week, they're all Friday night games. By the time when you're watching the show, they'll be playing tonight. And kickoff is 7 p.m. They do still have a system, the way they're handing out tickets, I've heard. So it's not like you could just show up. I don't know if you can still show up and get tickets or if you have to get tickets through the school right now. Now, I know I read some of my Twitter feeds for Spoprts Frenzy. If you follow us on Twitter, it's at Spoprts Frenzy 1 is our Twitter feed. And on there was a couple of the teams. I know Clinton was saying on there that the one of the coaches are at the school and they're handing out pre-tickets because you can still, I guess, students are allowed to bring like 2 people still, as what I think the rule is. They can get 2 tickets per person. So, I mean, there still is a limit with that going on right now, but we're dealing with it. We're doing all right because you know what? We're playing, and that's what the kids wanted to be able to do. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this week's picks before I ramble on some more. Our first game this week, we have the Vandercook Lake Jayhawks. The Jayhawks have 1 win and 2 losses. They're on the road this week. They are traveling to my old neck of the woods, I'm an alumnus there, where I graduated from. And they're doing really good this year. I don't remember, and maybe they have had they have had good seasons. I just don't remember them being undefeated at this point. And right now, folks, your Addison Panthers are undefeated. They have 4 wins and 0 losses. This is still regular season, so we don't want to get too crazy yet. You know, there's a lot can happen in the playoffs. But this is a home game for the Panthers. Second week with an audience again. Could be loud. I got to tell you, the Panthers right now are fired up because fans want. All right, I always get myself into trouble when I do this, but in Panther country, we tend to not be good. Then we get good. We have high hopes, and it falls apart on us. So we haven't been 4-0 as far as I can remember back. I've got the Panthers for the victory this week. Like I said, the Addison Panthers, they're excited about their team. But more importantly, I think we'll have to wait and see how fierce the competition is in playoffs. So that's where it's really going to count. The record looks nice, but it's the playoffs and the finals is where you really want to be. All right, next up. As far as I could see, as all my schedules were, I was looking at, Lenawee Christian isn't playing this week, so you won't see them on the schedule. So we're moving into our next game. And I got to tell you guys, Paulson's room, I know you guys have been doing your darndest and very, very hard looking out for your Adrian Maples. But, oh, my gosh, it has not been a good season for the Maples. We'll talk about that in just a second. First of all, we'll look at their opponent this week. Their opponent this week is the Huron River Rats. The Rats have 1 win and 2 losses. So these guys don't have a great record. So let's talk about this, guys. Let's talk about this Paulson's room and the Adrian Maples team. Before we go into this, we'll pull up your logo. You have 0 wins, 0, the big goose egg, and 4 losses. Tough year. I believe you guys have a new head coach this season too, right? And he's not used to losing because he's I can't remember where he came from, but he had when I saw that Adrian hired him, he had a really good history and working record. So yeah. I just noticed some extra things on the set that I didn't need on the set. So, I don't know. Paulson's Room, are you guys still able to get hyped up for this team? Are you still standing strong for your Adrian Maples? You gotta tell me. All right. I believe you guys do feel it for him still. You guys have a lot of pride over there for the Adrian Maples. So let me hear it. Give a shout out for your Adrian Maples. Can they get it done this week? Come on, Paulson's Room. Are they going to get it done? Do the Maples get it done against Huron River Rats? Is this the week they get their first victory? I can't hear you. Get a little louder. I don't know. I'm not sure you guys are actually feeling it. Maybe you're not feeling it. Maybe you think the Rats are going to beat you guys this week. Do you guys feel like the River Rats are going to beat you guys this week? Because it's a little quiet over there. I know they're down. I know they're out. It's been a rough season for the return of them. But do you have any faith left in the Adrian Maples? Let's hear it then. Let's hear that Maple Pride. Come on, guys. Do you know the song? I asked you this last week. Sing the song for them. You got to sing it and make it loud so they can hear you in the hallways. Because I believe your guys' classroom is still at the same place it's always been. So they got to hear you in the hallways. Let's hear it for your Adrian Maples. Let's go, Maples. Let's go, Maples. Let's go, Maples. Man. Guys are the home. You're hosting. You're the home team this week. Maybe I should go with the Huron River. No, you guys don't want me to. You don't want me to do that. All right. I wouldn't do this for just anybody, I'm doing this. This is strictly because of your guys' classroom. Strictly because you're such diehard, not only you diehard fans to your school, but you're diehard fans for the Sports Frenzy show. So I'm going to give it to you guys this week. Let's hear it one more time for the Adrian Maples. Trying to get it done this week right here in Adrian, Michigan. Go Maples! Next up, we have the Whiteford Bobcats. The Bobcats have 2 wins and 3 losses. They are traveling to and playing against the struggling Britton Deerfield Patriots. The Patriots are the home team. They have 1 win and 3 losses. I currently do not have anybody in the audience in Britton Deerfield that I'm aware of. So they'll probably be upset with me, but I'm going against Britton Deerfield this week. I've got Whiteford. I have a feeling Whiteford's not going to make it look not going to be pretty for the. It's not going to be pretty for Britton Deerfield. We have had a few games this season too that are big goose eggs for some of our teams, some of our high school teams. So yeah. Next up. We have the Ida Blue Streaks. The Blue Streaks are on the road this week. They are traveling to and playing against your red hot, undefeated Blissfield Royals. The Royals have 4 wins and 0 losses. This is a home game for the Blissfield Royals. I just had some good teams in the past. But do I think so Blissfield's on fire. I'm not even going to mess around, joke around with it. Not even Blissfield is feeling their football game right now. They have got their football groove on. They are red hot. They will have the home field advantage. They will have the fan advantage this week. I've got the Blissfield Royals continuing their undefeated streak this week in Blissfield. Go Blissfield Royals. We have our next game, man. This is going to be, unfortunately, not good for Onstead. The Onstead Wildcats, they have not won a game this season. They are 0 wins and 4 losses, and it's not going to get any easier for them as they travel into Clinton territory to play the Clinton Redskins. The Redskins are at home, and they have 3 wins and 1 loss on the season. And they are at home, and I don't see anything getting in the way of their victory this week. Unfortunately, with Onstead being, I don't think it's going to. This game could get ugly early as well. Going with the Clinton Redskins for the victory. Oh, boy. Next up. Oh, man. We've got the Columbia Central Golden Eagles, baby. The Eagles had a little tough this season. They have 2 wins and 2 losses, and they are on the road this week, traveling to and playing against. They're playing against another one of our huge audience teams. Oh, boy. Guys are putting me in a situation here because, I am an honorary member of the Columbia Central football team. Thanks to Coach Ron and all the guys out there that actually support the show and seem to love Spoprts Frenzy as well. So very cool. And that's why, and it's awesome. It's quite an honor for myself to be considered, an honorary member of their football team and given the gear and the bumper stickers and just much appreciated because, there's that show. There's that new Adrian show on the radio called The Cave. And all these schools, give them all kinds of stuff for their studio. But I bet they don't have the honor of being an honorary member of any team like I am. That's right. Anyway, so Logan, that's right. I'm talking to you guys in Hudson. My buddy Logan's classroom. How you guys doing this week? It's been rough for these guys. Been very tough for the Hudson Tigers. Hudson Tigers have 1 win on the season. What do you think, Logan? Does Hudson have any chance of beating Columbia Central this week? How do you feel in Hudson classroom? Do you guys feel like you have any chance of beating Columbia Central this week? Columbia Central is coming off a loss. Usually coming off a loss, you practice that much harder and you are so worked up from the previous week's loss that you are on fire coming into your next game because you don't want to make it 2 in a row. Hudson Tigers. I love you guys, man. I love you guys over there in Hudson. And I appreciate you guys doing everything Sports Frenzy wise. And Logan, my buddy, member of the Sports Frenzy crew. How you feeling, Hudson? All right, let's give a shout out for you. Come on, Hudson. You can get a shout out. You get a shout out. So here's what's going down with me this week. Coach Co's going to stay neutral on this game. I'm not going to choose my winner here because of my fate. I have both sides. Coach Co's going to stay in the middle of this one. Stay out of it. So for my Hudson Tigers fans that are watching the show right now, you guys get your moment of fame like you always do. Coach Co gives you guys your moment. You got to give a shout out to your team. I mean, they're almost as bad a position as Adrian, really. I mean, except they got one win under their belt. So Logan, fire up your class, man. Fire those kids up. Have them cheer on the Hudson Tigers. I can't hear you guys. Is that all you got? Has Logan been working you guys too hard this week? You guys been doing a lot in your classroom that you just don't feel it for your team anymore, or what? What's going on over there in Hudson? Too much work? I know it's a little dark outside and the weather's a little bad and it's cooling off, but do you guys not believe in your football team anymore? Come on, Hudson Tiger fans. Let's hear you. You can get a little louder than that. Come on, Logan. Fire them up. Did you guys sing the theme song? I'm going to have to text Logan and find out because I haven't talked to him in a few weeks, actually. So I'll shoot you out a text or something, Logan. Find out if you guys are doing the Hudson, cheer over there or not. But I have got – oh, that's right. I said I wouldn't make a pick in this game. Just teasing you guys. All right. I don't know, though. I think you guys can get louder than that over there in Hudson. Or you guys just feel like you're not going to win this one? One final chance for you guys. Shout it out, Tiger fans. Hudson Tigers, this is it. You got to fire up your team. Or they have no chance. I can tell you that right now. No chance. All right. I'm shooting Logan a text in a little bit here to see how his classroom's going. And Coach Co's going to defer this game and stay in neutral territory for it. Next up, we have the Dundee Vikings. The Vikings have 1 win and 3 losses. They are traveling to and playing against the Hillsdale Hornets. Hornets have 3 wins and 1 loss. You guys, sometimes I get the curiosity of, well, why is Hillsdale? Why do you have Hillsdale on here when they're not playing one of the Lenawee County teams? Well, the answer is because we also have the Hillsdale ISD returning to joining us for Sports Frenzy. And that was organized and helped out through this season through Trisha getting a hold of me and saying that she would like Sports Frenzy to be added back to Hillsdale's ISD. So welcome back to the Hillsdale ISD, and one of their main place is Hillsdale. And, Hillsdale ain't too bad. So that's why I continue to keep Hillsdale on here. And I'm going to go with Hillsdale for the victory. And I have no idea which ISD classrooms are participating or what. how she's organized that in Hillsdale yet. So maybe, Trisha, you can shoot me an email or something and let me know how things are going for Sports Frenzy at the Hillsdale ISD as I pick Hillsdale for the victory. Next up, how about the Madison Trojans, huh? Madison, you lose your coach. Coach Taz retires from coaching. And then we lose football. And then high school football comes back. And hey, Coach Taz comes back as well. And they are motivated this year, apparently, at Madison. Madison is 3 wins and 1 loss. Best Madison's played in a very long time, to be honest. And it's looking pretty good for Madison this week as well, because they're traveling to Pittsburgh to play the Pittsburgh Wildcats. And the Wildcats are winless. They have 0 wins and 4 losses. I think Madison gets it done on the road this week and have a 4-1 record. Before this is all said and done. Now, we've had this discussion before, but we haven't had this discussion this season. One of the names, actually 2 of the school names that you see a lot in high school football are Bulldogs and Eagles. You tend to see, like, if you go through and look at the whole Michigan, big picture of Michigan, there's a lot of Eagle teams and there's a lot of Bulldog teams. So this week, I have no idea really if this is true or not, but I'm calling this the Battle of the Bulldogs. And one time Morenci did have a bulldog mascot. I don't know if Summerfield has a bulldog mascot or not, but does it ever do they get confused? No, because I think the Morenci bulldog mascot wears obviously has I almost said bulldog jersey on. He has a Morenci jersey on. So this could be fun. It's the Battle of the Bulldogs. And does Summerfield bring their mascot with them when they're on away games? But what makes this even more interesting, could make this even more fun, is you have these Summerfield Bulldogs, 1 win and 3 losses. Traveling to and playing the Morenci Bulldogs, who also have 1 win and 3 losses. So this week, one of these 2 teams will have their second victory of the season, as it's Bulldog versus Bulldog. It's been a tough year for Morenci, and I really have no idea about Summerfield. But for me, I'll stay. I've not been on their good side very much this season because of me basically voting against them and their current record. I'm going to be nice this week. I'm going to go with the Morenci Bulldogs over the Summerfield Bulldogs in the Battle of the Bulldogs. Let's hype it up. The Battle of the Bulldogs. All right, we have the Michigan Center Cardinals. The Cardinals have 1 win and 1 loss. I mean, do you guys not have a Cardinal logo somewhere? This is all you had. This is all I could find for you guys as basically your logo online right now. You would think school would have a mascot or something. I don't know. Anyway, did I say you guys have one win and one loss? Michigan Center Cardinals, and I don't think there's anybody in Michigan Center watching Sports Frenzy, so they could care less. They are traveling to and playing against the Manchester Flying Dutchmen. The Dutchmen have 2 wins and 2 losses under their belt. This is a home game for them this week. I believe they will get it done. I'm going with the Manchester Flying Dutchmen for the victory. All right, we got a big one right here. And not only is it the big one, let's do this first because the singing voice has been pretty horrible lately. Nothing like it has been in the past. So this is a good time to break out the lemonade. And this week we went back to the brisk lemonade. That's right. Cool, crisp, brisk. It's gone up in price a little bit where I get it. Get it at the Myers gas station for $1.39. But right now they got a special going on. Buy one or buy 2 and you get them for $1 a piece. So it's right on my way home. Quick way. So bottoms up. And now it's time. It's your first three-point bonus game. It's your first three-point bonus game. Come on now, everybody. It's first 3-point bonus. That's the hard part. Here we go. Game! Yes, it is. It's your first 3-point bonus game of the week. And this is going to be a good one. This should be a very good game, as we have the Erie Mason Eagles are undefeated. They have 4 wins and 0 losses, and they are coming into Sand Creek territory. The Sand Creek Aggies are also undefeated. They have 4 wins and 0 losses. And this is, folks, is why this is your 3-point bonus game this week. The Aggies have been red hot. When was the last time the Aggies were undefeated going into a season? With only a couple of games left before playoffs. The Aggies. When was the last time? Probably Dan would know this. When was the last time many of the audience would know this. I'm sure Mr. Boring over there, our Laura Havlin Boring, he would know the last time the Aggies were undefeated. Anyway, I feel like this is going to be a good game this week. Should be a good game. And that's why it's your first 3-point bonus game. And I am going with our local team, the Sand Creek Aggies, for the victory. And then back to ticking off some of our audience because we have the Tecumseh Indians. The Indians are 2 wins and 2 losses. However, they are playing another Bulldog team. That's 3 Bulldog teams in the division alone. We have the Chelsea Bulldogs. And the Chelsea Bulldogs are undefeated, and they are the home team. I don't see, and here's where I'm getting myself into trouble. I'm going to get destroyed for this by the Tecumseh audience. I don't see any chance of the Tecumseh even staying in this game. This could be an annihilation, and this could get ugly quickly. I've got the undefeated Chelsea Bulldogs taking out Tecumseh. I know, right now, here comes the hate mail into Sports Frenzy. People are throwing things at the screen from the Tecumseh audience. Oh. Well, Tecumseh, you just got to get better. You're a big school. You got a big football field. You got a big school. Should have a big football team, right? Actually, Tecumseh accelerates the program they accelerate in, which is something that the rest of the Lenawee County teams do not have, is their lacrosse team. So shout out to Tecumseh Lacrosse, because Tecumseh has one heck of a lacrosse team, and they are pretty. The last time I knew, they're pretty darn good at what they do, and lacrosse is pretty awesome. So shout out to the lacrosse team, because I think probably some of the guys that are on the football team are also lacrosse players. So there you go, guys. I give you some love for your lacrosse team. All right, that's all we have for our high school football action this week. Moving into college football action. This is week 7 already for these teams, of course. For the teams that are playing right now. And I got to be honest, this was a challenge for me this week because, first of all, not having the Big Ten back yet and the MACs back yet, and some of the other teams that I really, it's hard. Like last week, I felt like we had a really good group of games, and there were some really good games. But this week, I'm just kind of like, this is tough. The records are bad for a lot of these teams, and I just could not find great games. So hopefully these games will be somewhat entertaining. I picked the ones with the best records. So we'll kind of go with that and see how you guys feel about it this week. But we got the Pittsburgh Panthers. The Panthers have 3 wins and 2 losses. They're on the road, traveling to and playing against. And these guys are ranked. We got the 13th ranked Miami Hurricanes. Hurricanes have 3 wins and 1 loss. Kickoff for this game is 12 p.m. And it will be on the cable network, ACC network. So I don't know if you guys think this is going to be a great game or not. And like I said, I just tried to find some of the better teams that I could this week, with the exception of some of the games, a couple of the games. They're ranked. This is why I'm going to go ahead and go with the 13th ranked Miami Hurricanes. Now watch Pittsburgh completely surprise us and come out there and just kick their butts. But I'm going with Miami for the victory. and and even with this next game, I no disrespect because anybody that serves in the military, I am all for, and I'm for the Army Black Knights, and that's who's playing next. The Army Black Knights, they've only lost one game this year, 4 wins and 1 loss. They are on the road. They are traveling to and playing against UTSA Roadrunners. The Roadrunners have 3 wins and 2 losses. And this is interesting. My first major typo. No, I guess I didn't. No, I didn't mess it up. Sorry, I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. This game kicks off at 1 p.m. and it is on CBS SN, so the CBS Sports Network channel. And I am going with Army for the victory. All right, so next up, these next games are, well, there's no questionable about it. This first game, flat out already. So here's the thing with my sheets now. With it being all football, and football records don't change overnight, like if I was just following like baseball or anything like that. So I'm able to kind of get a jump on the start of working on my Sports Frenzy sheets for the next teams that I kind of want for the weekly show. However, and literally, I'd say almost not literally, but after I got these sheets done, felt comfortable with the games this week and sent them all out. I get home and there's breaking news that the LSU, no, I guess it was this morning I figured this out maybe because I think I just sent sheets out yesterday. So I get home and I wake up, whatever I was doing, whatever happened, and I see that the LSU Florida Gators game, which I put this game on here because I'm like, well, maybe this may actually be one of the better games this week. So I put that game on here, and lo and behold, this is a COVID-affected game. So, guys, this is going to prove how many of you guys actually watch the show, because this game is not being played this week. Go ahead and scratch it right off your schedule because it's gone. And anybody that fills out the sheet that has that game on there, I'm going to question whether you watch Sports Frenzy or not. I'm going to judge you. So, yes, take those logos right out. Put them over here. Our next game, this next game, if it happens, mind you, what we're going to say, we're saying it's on right now. Well, maybe we should look into some details here. Let's check this out, because this is supposed to be your second 3-point bonus game. So let's check and see if we got any news. Any current updates? Well, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it this way. Siri, can you give me an update on the Georgia Bulldogs versus Alabama Crimson Tide game this week, please?
I found this on the web.
All right, so let's see what we have here. Okay, at the moment, it appears this game will continue without their head coach. Some people are worried about that. But I'm sure your diehards like Bama Buer, I'm sure she's not worried about this game at all. So it appears the game is still on at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and do this because it is 3 points. 3 points. It's your second 3-point bonus game. Yes, it is. And if it's going to be played, Coach Saban's out. And I don't even remember who they said is taking over coaching duties. Apologize for that. We'll try and look that up before the end of the show. So, let me get this out right now. We have it's on my sheets. Number 3, the third ranked Georgia Bulldogs. The Bulldogs have 3 wins and 0 losses. And they're on the road, traveling to, at the moment, excuse me. Now, this is where it could be tricky. Number 2 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. They have 3 wins and 0 losses. This is supposed to be your night game. 8:30 game on CBS. So, but it's in Alabama. So that makes me question a little bit. Is this game going to happen? I know they're not saying anything about it right now, but where the coach get exposed at? Will there be enough time to clean up around there? Has anybody else tested positive for the sickness? Stay tuned, folks. Your guess is as good as mine on this one. We're going to go ahead and call it. Listening to sports radio tonight on my way home, they say, and they said who's going to be coaching this game for Alabama, but they said this is a crucial time to not have your head coach, because this is not going to be an easy victory from what they're saying. So if this game continues on as planned, I'm going to give Alabama the victory. We'll see how they play without their head coach being there. If the game goes as scheduled, I'm going to go Alabama for the win. And as your final college football game of the week. And our final week without Michigan football action. Woo! All right. Next up is finally moving into NFL football action. This is week 6 action for the NFL. We have the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are really good right now. They have 3 wins and 1 loss going into this game. They're on the road this week, though. And they are traveling to and playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers have 3 wins and 0 losses. Kickoff for this game is, where is it? Kickoff for this game is 1 p.m. And it's on CBS. Sorry, I was deep in thought on this one. I'm giving it to Steelers. I think Steelers are going to get it done this week. The Steelers nation can be wild and crazy, and they have the home field advantage. So, as much as I liking the Browns, I've got to go with the Steelers for the victory. All right. Our next game. I know that Olivia, one of my students, her family are die-hard Detroit Lion fans. And that can be appreciated. I mean, I've stood behind the Lions for a lot of years, and I have no expectations for these guys. I never do. No expectation. And I'm getting a headache just thinking about it right now. We're talking the Detroit Lions. Or should we call them the Detroit Pussycats? The Detroit Lions have 1 win and 3 losses. They are traveling to and playing against the Jacksonville Jaguars are the home team this week. The Jaguars have 1 win and 3 losses. Kickoff for this game is 1 p.m. and it is on Fox. Both teams have 1 and 3 records. And you know what? The stats are actually favoring Detroit this week, the last I knew. Let's check on that again. Let's see what Siri has to say about that. Siri, who's favored to win between the Detroit Lions and the Jacksonville Jaguars this week?
Here's what I found.
So that's what I thought. The Lions are actually being favored to win in this game. I don't see that happening. We're talking the Detroit Lions here. They're on the road this week. And they cannot win their way out of a fourth quarter to save their lives. Have I given up on the Detroit Lions? Yes. Yes, I have. We need a new coach again. This coaching situation is a mess. This whole Lions situation is a mess. There's nothing good about the Lions right now. Even I don't even know. I mean, obviously, I don't want to see them lose a bunch of players. I mean, we need to get some good blood in here. And I don't know if Matthew Stafford's going to be around next season or if they'll even keep him around next season because, I mean, he's had his chance here and things have not gone the way they should. Anyway, I do not believe in them right now. I do not think they could win their way out of probably couldn't even win their way out of a high school game. I know that's being harsh, but I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars to pull off the victory. Excuse me. I've heard that the Jaguars are not that good, but the Lions can get defeated in the third and fourth quarter, and that's what's going to happen. Whether the Jaguars are good or not, they're going to smoke them, or not. If not smoke them, they're going to come back and win in the fourth because the Lions do not have what it takes to finish a football game. I know you guys are like, Coach, you're being awful harsh. Well, it's the truth, guys. I'm sorry. Been with the Lions for a lot of years, and this team is not going anywhere. All right, next up we have the Chicago Bears. The Bears have 4 wins and 1 loss. They are traveling to and playing against the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers have 2 wins and 2 losses. Kickoff for this game is 1 p.m. And it's a Fox game, which means it will not be a local Fox game, considering Detroit plays at the same time. So, excuse me. I'm going to go with the Bears. Those of you old enough to remember that. Mike Ditka, the Bears. Our final game this week. Ooh, buddy. Wish I could get Dan to weigh in on this one, and maybe I will. He might do his sports thing on Friday. So Dan, if you're doing your sports show, make sure you get some information in on the what your feelings are on the Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But anyway, the Green Bay Packers are red hot right now. They have 4 wins and 0 losses, but they're traveling to and playing against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers have 3 wins and 2 losses. Kickoff for this game is 4:25, and it will be on Fox. Oh, man, you have Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. Tom's new team. You guys, he's still the GOAT, though. I mean, everybody still says he's the GOAT. What do you think? Can the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get it done against an undefeated Green Bay team? I mean, Tom Brady's my Michigan man. I'm not going to go against my Michigan boy. It may not happen, but I'm saying it is. I'm going with the Buccaneers. I almost said Patriots. Oh, man. All right, that wraps up. I'll write that down. No, I did not. We're moving into NASCAR action. NASCAR. What do we got going on this week in NASCAR? Well, let me tell you as soon as I can find the article again. Uh-oh. Siri, where's the NASCAR race at this week?
I found this on the web.
Okay. Well, that sure didn't help me. Oh, here we go. No, there we go. Do. Schedule. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Okay, this is playoffs, round 8. And it starts at 2:30 p.m. It is the Hollywood Casino 400. Write that down. Hollywood Casino 400. And it's at Kansas Speedway. It is a 400.5 mile race, or 267 laps. Let's see what the lineup looks like, because I know my guy Kyle Busch is now officially out. All right, here's what we have left. Chase Elliott is your leader. He's at number 1. Joey Logano's at number 2. Kurt Busch at number 3. Kevin Harvick at number 4. Martin Truex Jr. at number 5. Alex Bowman at number 6. Denny Hamlin at number 7. Brad Keselowski at 8. Ryan Blaney at 9. And William Byron at 10. And so, yeah, that's what I know about the NASCAR race this week. I know my guy is out. So, geez, who am I going to choose? My gosh, I don't even know. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Who should I choose to win? You know what? Back in the olden days of Sports Frenzy, the original days of Sports Frenzy, when we didn't cover a whole lot of NASCAR, but when we did cover NASCAR, it came down to a coin toss between me and my buddy, Jamie Rose, who was the co-host of the show, my brother Jamie Rose. And we always decided, since we are brothers, that we would choose the brothers. And we would flip a coin each week to decide which brother we were going to get, who got to choose which brother they wanted. Well, doggone it all, Kurt Busch is still in this. So I'm going to go ahead, for old-time nostalgic purposes, this week's winner for me will be Kurt Busch. Is who I'm choosing. All right. Let's go to the Sports Frenzy page and see what kind of information we have for you guys this week. news in Frenzy Land. And as we always say, ways that you can watch the show. You can join us on our Facebook page. If you're not a member already, just look me up on my regular page and tell me you want to be a member of Sports Frenzy, and we can get you hooked up on there real quick. You can also watch us on YouTube. The YouTube show is it's Coach Co Sports Frenzy 1 is our YouTube page. We're also on Instagram at Sports Frenzy 1 and our Twitter feed at Sports Frenzy 1. Those are ways to watch the show. Heading on over to the Frenzy page for some quick news updates. Congratulations goes out to Dale Jr. They have announced the birth of their second child, and I believe they had a little girl. Yep. Announced the birth of their second daughter. Congratulations goes out to Dale Jr. and his wife. Las Vegas is set to host the NCAA tournament. March Madness location announced. Regional tournaments through 2026. Wow, that's huge. You can read more about that on our page. The NFL has already canceled the 2021 Pro Bowl game. Not even messing around with that. The NCAA Council introduces legislation allowing a one-time transfer bowl eligibility expanded to all FBS teams. Wow. What's this mean? This means that they're going to allow a blanket bowl eligibility for all 127 FBS teams playing this fall, meaning a team can go completely winless and still be eligible for the playoffs, or for a bowl game, I should say. This is a one-time exception proposal developed by the NCAA working group. To read more about that, go to our Sports Frenzy Facebook page, or you can pretty much look it up on any of your sports pages. The article comes from CBS Sports. You could probably find it there, too. The NFL is rescheduling 8 games affecting the Patriots, the Broncos, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Dolphins, the Jets, the Chargers, and the Jaguars. Uh-oh. I probably maybe should have read this before. Okay, it doesn't affect this week's games. It doesn't look like. You can read more about that on the Sports Frenzy page as well. So for Alabama, their offensive coordinator, Steve Sarkisian, will oversee operations in Saban's absence. So that's going to be who's coaching the team this week. Detroit to host the Sweet 16 Elite 8 during the 2024 NCAA March Madness. The NBA is targeting January 18th for the next start of the season. Stay tuned to that. The 2021 MLB draft order will to be set by the 2020 standings. That's what's being reported right now. All right, that looks like that's about all we have for you guys this week. And wow, we're an hour and 15 minutes into the show. So good show for you guys this week. I hope everybody enjoyed the full-length edition of the show. If you're looking for the short version of the show, that will also be included in the emails I send out. And basically that is just the picks and nothing but the picks, because some of my classrooms just need a shorter version of the show. If you want the best version of the show, you're watching that right now. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. It's going to be a cool one out there, so maybe stay in and watch some football or some other sports. Take care, everybody. I'm the coach. Be blessed, everyone. We'll see you back here, hopefully, for the weekend wrap-up on Sunday. Take care, everybody.